Okay, thank you. So good morning and Ganguly College. Uh, so first of all, I express my sincere gratitude to the webinar director, Dr. Biplab Chakraborty, Professor, Department of Library and
Sorry for the inconvenience. I think there is some network issues with Dr. Das. Actually, we also have late started. So again, we all welcome to you all in this webinar and on the topic implementation of learning management system and problems and prospects. We have with us Dr. PSM sir, Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay sir. He is well known and very popular nowadays on the different topics. So please be patient and wait to hear from him. I have also very much learned from his different speech on different topics. He's very encourageous to all of us. We have different participants from the outside also, in addition to the India. In addition to the outside Bengal, we have outside India also. We have participants from Morocco, we have participants from Russia, Philippines, Egypt, and many other places also. So please be patient. We have in collaboration with Bhairab Ganguly College, and thank you very much to the Vice Principal Sanjit Kumar Das sir, and he has some technical issues now. So I would like to deliver my mic now to another convener is there with me, Mr. Mintu Hallar. So, Mr. Hallar, please you can continue.
Thank you, Dr. Salam. Thank you, sir. Now I request my beloved teacher, Professor Biplab Chakraborty, chairman in this webinar. Sir, say something about the Info-Lib and webinar. Over to sir.
Thank you, Mr. Mintu Hallar and Dr. Abul Salam. Good morning to all. Respected Vice Principal of Bhairab Ganguly College and patron of this webinar or series, Dr. Sanjit Kumar Das, Professor Dr. Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay, the sole speaker of this webinar, the teacher colleagues of Bhairab Ganguly College, the executive members of Info-Lib Academia, and the Vice Chairman, Professor Dr. Aurobindo Maiti is also present here. Dr. Sheikh Abul Salam, librarian of Shibpur Dinabandhu Institution and one of the conveners of this webinar. Mr. Mintu Hallar, librarian and bursar of Bhairab Ganguly College and another convener of this webinar, and dear participants. I am very happy to be present here in this webinar. Rather, it may be said that webinar series. And today, my young friend, Professor Parthasarathi, is present in this webinar day. Professor Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay needs no introduction because, like me, everybody believes that he is a dynamic personality, and his speech may not be confined only within the library information science field, but also help to develop the knowledge and skills of the persons involving other fields of academic interest. So, Professor Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay will be speaking on the topic, today's topic. So, but I have to mention that as this is the series of the collaborative series. Collaborative series means collaborative series of webinar between the Info-Lib Academia and Bhairab Ganguly College. Because we have planned to organize the series because of some reasons. The reasons, one of the important reasons that due to pandemic situation, every institutions of higher learning institute are facing serious challenges, and both the groups, that means students, teachers one part, and other is authority, are also in a serious such a problematic situation, so that the online teaching learning evaluation are to be needed for the continuation of the academic interest and the continuation of the academic institutions. So these are the serious challenges, and on that basis both the party, that means Info-Lib Academia and Bhairab Ganguly College, have decided to organize 4 days webinar series, collaborative series, and that will be divided, or that was divided into 4 parts. That was divided into 2 parts. The 4 series into 2 parts. One part is mainly concerned with the online teaching, learning, evaluation programs based, and other is the role and activities of the and services of the libraries of the institutions of higher academic institutions. So, on that basis, on 20th and 29th, we have arranged 2 webinars on the issues of the library's role and services relating to the online teaching learning program. And on 24th and today's program, that means 31st program, is basically concentrated on the online teaching learning evaluation, how it could be done in the academic institutes of higher learning. These were our problem. These are our program, and due to some problem, Dr. Sanjit Das is not available now. I think he will be speaking later. But basically, today's topic is the implementation of the learning management system, challenges and opportunities. Is a topic which is basically emerged from the e-learning concept. So e-learning is important. So learning management system incorporates a number of issues, a number of areas, that is online services, online delivery services, online teaching, online learning, and other issues like documentation, etc., reporting. So there are many advantages also. There are a number of features, a number of areas are there. But how the advantages will be beneficial to the institutes of higher learning, that is the main issue, that is the main concern of this webinar. So the topic is chosen in that way, how to be implemented the learning management system, and what are the challenges to be faced, and what are the way out to overcome the situation, that means the challenging situation for implementing the learning management system is the issue. So all these issues, I think, will be discussed by Professor Partho Sharti Mukhopadhyay. He is very well known, and he is doing work or research on that field for a number of days, and rather for a number of years. So I request you that keep yourself concentrated on this on the topic in this webinar, and I think you will be, all the participants will be beneficial from the deliberations of Partho Sharti Mukherjee's speech. So I now request my convener friend to to say something, my microphone is handed over to the convener. Convener, please.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir, for your kind words. Good morning, all of you. I'm Mintu Haldar, one of the convener of this webinar. Before I start introduce of Professor Dr. Partho Sarothi Mukhopadhyay, I have an announcement. We are going to organize the last webinar of the first webinar series in collaboration between Info-Lib Academia and Bhairab Ganguly College. Second series of collaborative webinar will be held on and from 8th September 2020. All are cordially invited. Now I am going to introduce our honorable speaker, Professor Dr. Partho Sarothi Mukhopadhyay. It gives me immense pleasure to invite Dr. Partho Sarothi Mukhopadhyay on behalf of the organizing committee of this webinar. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation to deliver a lecture on implementation of learning management system, problem and prospects. Professor Mukhopadhyay is currently working at University of Kalyani as a professor in the Department of Library Information Science. He has been teaching library and information science at postgraduate level for the last 20 years. He completed his postgraduate studies from University of Bardwan and done his PhD from Jadavpur University. Dr. Mukhopadhyay started his career as library professional in a Central Glass and Ceramic Research Institute, CSIR, Kolkata, and from there he went to join Vidyasagar University as a faculty in the Department of Library Information Science in 2001. In 2007, he joined University of Bardwan as a faculty. In 2012, he joined University of Kalyani as an associate professor in the Department of Library Information Science. His area of specialization is online community information service, and he now currently working on an application of open source software and open standards in designing library services. Dr. Mukhopadhyay has more than 100 conference papers and research articles publication in different national and international journals. He has written many books and many courses were developed for IGNU. Dr. Mukhopadhyay was a member of UNESCO Curricular Development Committee on Open Access for research scholars and library professionals and developed one exclusive module on open access. Professor Mukhopadhyay acted as metadata consultant for the project National Digital Library of India. He is a member of the advisory committee of National Virtual Library Project of Ministry of Culture, Government of India. He is a supervised many courses on Swayam platform of MHRD, Government of India. He has guided many students and achieved PhD degree under his supervision, and many scholars are pursuing PhD under his supervision. Lastly, it is better not to introduce PSM sir. PSM sir is a famous person, not only our subject, but also in different subject. He is a very familiar. Therefore, sir, I welcome you, enlighten us with your thoughts on today's topic. Sir, please.
Thank you, Mintu, for all the kind words. I hope that I am audible enough to all of you. And if there is any kind of problem, let me check that whether I need to increase my sound setting or not. Okay. And during most of the part of my presentation, I will keep my video off because I am now hibernating in a remote corner of Bengal, and it's basically a network poor zone. So please, forgive me for that. Most of the time, I will keep my video off so that you don't face any kind of problem during the transmission. So, Salam, the sound level is okay, or should I increase the sound level?
No, sir, it's enough.
Fine.
You can carry on.
Okay, fine. So I'm making my video off and sharing my screen. So are you getting my screen? Hello. Are you getting my screen? Salam.
Yes, sir. We are getting, sir. It is visible, sir. You carry on.
So I do hope you are getting my screen. Hello.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We are getting. We are getting your screen, sir.
Hello.
We are sorry, but there is some technical issues with our Parthasarathi sir. Please be patient. We will active very soon. Actually, we have selected the topics keeping on mind that there is UGC MOOCs guidelines are there. How we can create e-content, how we can, there is 4-quadrant model approach is there in UGC MOOCs. So keeping in mind on that UGC MOOCs guidelines, we have selected the topics. There are 4 quadrants approach in UGC MOOCs guidelines. Quadrant 1 is creating video audio lectures with the task assignment to the teachers. And then in quadrant 2, we will have to create our e-content. After creating the e-content, we have to organize, and then we have to manage the content. So there are a lot of challenges and ways in managing e-content and organization part. After that, in quadrant 3, as per UGC guidelines, there is the part of linking e-resources or web resources. So how and which e-resources have to connect or link with the students, or as per our syllabus or guidelines, which we will taught to the students as far as teachers teaching concerned. So we have to linking the web resources as per our syllabus structure. And then in quadrant 4 part, we have the evaluation part. So thank you very much, sir is joined now. We are sorry to have some technical issues. Please be patient.
Are you getting? Are you getting the screen now? Okay, fine. So please just interrupt if you are not losing connection in some part of the deliberation. Okay, Salam.
Sir, screen is now blank, showing blank.
Okay.
Sir, you can also send me to my mail your PPT, sir. I am writing my mail in the chat box, sir.
Okay. So what you can see now on the screen?
Sir, black screen. You just open the PPTs. I think you will have to open the PPTs.
I opened already.
So you have select the entire screen or application window. So we have still the network issues with us, Dr. PSM sir, because he is now in very remote areas. So please be patient. He will be joining here, which I was saying that to implement all of the as per the UGC MOOCs guidelines, all four quadrant approach we can manage with the implementation of an learning management system. So that will highlight
Highlight. Getting it now? No.
say again. Yes, sir. It is now visible.
Okay. So this particular webinar is very important in one sense that e-learning is coming a big way in universities, colleges, and India as a whole in different sectors of education. So my topic is here virtual learning the open way, how library professional can help in developing different kind of e-learning activities, how libraries are can push them inside the e-learning workflow. So lot many new things are coming, lot many new avenues are coming in the domain of higher education. Uh, Now if we start the slide presentation, you can see here that before going into details of my presentation, my kudos to the teaching fraternity because three important things I have observed in this particular pandemic situation. Teacher given a challenge, they boldly accepted the challenge and came up with the flying color. The challenge demanded that they go through the digital transformation overnight. Many teachers, almost 80 to 90% teachers, right from the primary level to the tertiary level, are not tech savvy teachers. But overnight, we have thrown, the challenge of tech savviness. They took the challenge. Teachers smiled actually, and they said the challenge accepted. They hid their tech fears behind a smile, and because the students' learning is at stake. That is the concept. So I salute kudos to the teaching fraternity. I'm really feeling proud belonging or becoming a part of this fraternity. Then the challenge demanded that they have to make with limited or almost no resources. So teacher again said the challenge accepted. They started working overnight to plan for teaching without any resources because children's learning is at stake. And the challenge demanded that they may need to teach while 50 odd parents are watching over their shoulder, judging them for their every little move, including their voice modulation, pronunciation, grammar, knowledge, love, and warmth. Teacher said, okay, challenge accepted. It did not matter because the children's learning is at stake. So these three challenges teacher accepted, worldwide, not actually related to India or some part of Asia. Almost it happened overnight all over the world, and teachers came with the flying color. And here also lies the role of library professionals. Library professionals, because of the nature of their course curricula and etc., they are slightly more prone to technologies. They are slightly
Again, we are saying sorry to have a network issue with PSM sir. So please be patient. Sir definitely will highlight us on what way the LMS will be beneficial to us, particularly as far as LMS concerned.
আজকে এত ডিস্টার্ব করছে কেন বলো তো? Steam in fact,
Steam is not basically একটু স্পিডটা বেশি লাগে স্যার it is now visible.
Okay. So as I said that the teaching faculty was helped judiciously by the library professionals. Now, my appreciation and respect for those can't be expressed in words. I want to salute all the gurus across the world who continue to solve challenges that were piled upon them because children's learning is at stake. So, with a kudos, with a salute to the teaching fraternity, let me come back to my derivation. So you know already whether you are a teacher or a library professional or remotely connected to the field of academia, you already know the shift already happened. You believe it or not, you actually or not, it happened because one particular point you can remember that in case of teaching learning evaluation, the entire world is based on basically two major components. One is the journals in case of higher studies like PG level courses, and for books in case of graduate level courses. So I'm concentrating my deliberation here only in higher education scenario of India because primary and secondary education again a different ballgame. As I belong to the higher education domain, I will be concentrating on that only.
Again we have to say to you sorry for the interruption because Dr. Mukhopadhyay is reciting now a very interior corner of Bengal, so there is a strong network issues is there, I think. So please be patient. We all know that implementing an learning management system is very challenging. It's a job, very tough job to us. So what would be the server issues? What would be the softwares? There are a lot of open source softwares are there. There are a lot of commercial softwares are there also. In open source software, there are Moodle is there, OpenEDX are there, Canvas is there, Blackboard is there. So a lot of packages are there. You can visit their websites to have the concept and control over that particular topics. So with the help of those applications, how we will manage our resources. Already sir was highlighting on that particular issues. So please be patient. Sir will definitely highlight on that particular topic and be with us. And then how there we know all of the resources available created by the teachers and available through the internet, through the web resources, how we will integrate both of them into an LMS, into a learning management system. And particularly other challenges are also with us, how we can evaluate our assignments from the teachers. That will also be highlighted. So please be patient.
Yeah. Well,
Sir, please share your screen. So we are still the problem arising from network issues. So please be patient. And there are a lot of issues with the topics. What would be the problems? Particularly, there are two parts. I think there are two parts at the time of implementation of an LMS. One part is in the server level. So what would be the server? Selection of the server level, that is very much important. So please be patient. Yes, sir, it is showing. Carry on, sir.
Okay. Okay. So as I was talking that the paradigm shift already happened, you all know, because two major components are actually
Again, we are facing the same problem. So we are really sorry to say, really pardon to you all. Please pardon us. We will have still the issues with us, and sir will try to join again with us. So what I am saying, the server issues is the main concern. Whether it is internal server, that means whether we want to implement in it or keep the server in our area, that means in our institution part, or whether it would be implemented through the cloud-based server. There are a lot of cloud servers are available in the market. We can have choose the server level, as because as the multiple heats are concerned. That means when the teacher and students will be communicated through the LMS portal. So that means we have to select a better cloud-based server, so that students will not get to retrieve the materials or communicate with the teachers or content as far as the LMS concerned. And there are also some apps that they are also in relation to the applications of different type of LMS. So we can install also the apps to retrieve the or to activate to communicate with the teachers, students. And one important part is there. So sir has joined with us again. So please.
Salam, you know what I think, that it is not actually supporting the PowerPoint slide transmission. So let me try to have a live demonstration rather than the PowerPoint slideshow. Okay,
Okay,
let
that
me
will
try
also
that.
be better. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because in this way, this time people will not feel well, good way, you know. Fine.
Definitely, sir. You can go for live, sir.
Okay. So you can see the screen now.
Yes, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay.
Carry on.
So as you all know, I extremely sorry for tomorrow today morning. In fact, I'm facing this kind of problem. So if it is not supporting the full slideshow presentation over the video translation, so let me go for a lightweight kind of presentation. As you know that I'm already mentioned in this video, because of this pandemic, I actually not quite agree with the statement that because most of the teachers and most of the library professionals believe that e-learning is a plan B, and it is actually working in this era of and this strange time in this pandemic situation. But I do not agree, simply because of the fact there are many other factors which are actually helping to e-learning situation to take the driving seat. I'm just giving you a few information before moving into the light demonstration part. The first one is that global population explosion. So nowadays the part of higher education process starts in this.
Again, we have the same issues with us. Sorry to you, we are still waiting for sir, so that we can continue the demonstration. Strong network issues are there, so please be patient with us. And what I am saying in the break of this connection. So server issue is an important part. Sir has joined again.
And the second thing what I talked about is basically the information overload or information explosion. So what happened actually? One particular Pew Internet Research Group says that an average person all over the globe is receiving 10 gigabyte of textual data in every minute. So on the one hand we have population explosion, on the other hand we are having the information explosion. So e-learning is actually coming up to address this kind of global issues. Another important things related to Indian higher education is the unevenness. So e-learning is also a plan, not a plan B. In that case, a plan A of the government of India to reduce different kind of unevenness in the higher education scenario of India. I'm just giving you a few unevenness in the higher education scenario of India. First of all, we have 1,000 plus universities, 40,000 plus colleges, and 10,000 plus institutes of national importance all over the country. But do you still know or do you believe that as per the All India Survey of Higher Education report, the latest report, our college density is only 28. And now what is the college density? That is the number of colleges per lakhs of eligible people. And we have only 28. And if you compare that facts and figure with other developing countries and developed countries, India is far behind as per their college density. Now, this particular college density is again uneven within the country. If you go to the state of Karnataka, Bangalore urban district, the college density is as high as 81. If you come down to Chhattisgarh, the college density becomes as low as 7. If you go to Assam, it goes to 11. So you see here there is no parity at all, right from 81 in Bangalore urban district to 7 in Chhattisgarh and Bihar. So this kind of unevenness is there. Next important factor or ailing factor of Indian higher education is the student progression. Can you believe in this particular area also our student progression is also only 0.5. Now what do you mean by student progression? Student progression is that a particular student is entering into UG course, moving into PG course and completing his PhD, his or her PhD degree or doctoral dissertation. So that kind of progression is very less in Indian higher education scenario. Another fallacy or unevenness is that altogether all universities and colleges in India offer a total of 187 programs. That means 187 different kind of courses as diploma, degree, certificate, masters, etc. But do you believe again 80% of our students opt for only 10 courses in India. So 80 and all these 10 courses, most of them actually belonging to arts, humanities and social science. So 80% of our students we are accommodating in arts, humanities and social sciences, but 90% of the students who come out with a PhD degree belonging to STEM group, science, technology, engineering and management. So again a fallacy. But the biggest irony of Indian higher education system is our gross enrollment ratio. Our average gross enrollment ratio, GER is an average. So GER is basically 26.3. And how can you know that 26.3 is a good one or a bad one? Because when we compare our gross enrollment ratio with the other comparable Asian countries like you see South Korea, Japan, China, there lies the difference. We all started at the same plane during the decade of 70s. All Asian countries, in fact, India started better than China in the decade of 70s. Then all of a sudden, 1994, China made a quantum jump. Why 1994? I will be coming. That 1994 is a year of significance for higher education in Asia. But that actually happened. South Korea now reached up to 81 in the gross enrollment ratio. Japan is with 63, and China is now actually approaching 50, 49.3, but India is still struggling with 26.3 as per the latest AI SHE data. But what I said that 1994 China made a quantum jump because another important factor is associated with the Indian higher education nowadays. That is called demographic bonus or demographic dividend. What is a demographic bonus or demographic dividend? Demographic bonus is a very rare thing for a country, and we are fortunate enough that India is presently passing through the era of demographic dividend or demographic bonus. In the demographic bonus era, your working age share of the population is higher than the non-working age share. Now, what is the working age share? People belonging to the age group of 15 to 64 is considered as working age share. They are the working people. And people below 14 and higher than 65 are considered as dependent population. That means they need to depend for their living on the working people. So non-working age share and working age share is a very important ratio for a country. When your working age share is higher than non-working age share, then it is they say, or the demographics expert says that country is having a demographic bonus or demographic dividend, and it's a very rare situation for a country. It comes only after 500 years or 700 years in a given country. Entire Asia, right from 1964, entered inside the demographic bonus area. For Japan, it started 1964. For them, it actually ended in 1994. So Japan enjoyed a clear cut, almost 40 years of demographic bonus. Then China entered demographic bonus area in 1994, and for them it will be ended by 2038. They got a 2031. They got a 37 years of window. India entered in the demographic bonus era recently in 2018. For us, it will be ended by the year 2055. So during this 37 years of window, we will be having a very advantageous position. The median age of Indian population in 2026 will be the lowest in the world. And the median age of Indian population is now 28.1. In 2026, it will become 29. It will be the youngest nation of the world, and most of the workforce for the global community which will be sending, most of the global companies will be having Indian population. But you see, demographic bonus is not the only factor that is important to channelize this youth force. This youth force need to be employable, and employability comes through the skills to handle different high-end jobs for the 21st century. And if we fail to do that, if we fail to channelize this youth force in the channel of higher education, then God only can save India. Many kinds of social unrest will be coming, because there's millions of youth. If you cannot provide them job, you cannot provide them skills, you cannot provide them education, then what will happen? You can easily guess. I don't have to tell you. But why I said that China made or 1994 is a very important year, because 1994 China already envisioned the demographic bonus 5 or 10 years back. They invested, they restructured their higher education, and now you see the result. Recent study says China is now producing much more research paper in comparison with the Asian countries. We compared all research contribution for every country for the last 24 years on the basis of Scopus data sets. US still first, but China is a close second now, and India occupies the 9th position. During the 25 years of the period, US produced actually 120 million papers, but India produced only 16.70 million papers. There lies the importance of gross enrollment ratio. If your input volume is not high, then how you can expect higher output volume? So gross enrollment ratio is directly proportional to the poor research output from India. because we failed to attract our talents, our remote students inside our higher educational system. So Government of India is actually thinking e-learning as a solution. If you have time, I request all of you to go through the latest NEP, published by Government of India. They proposed actually 50 GR within 6 years, and that's possibly an impossible task if you are not applying e-learning in a massive scale. So Government of India took up 6 different projects. One is called NAT, National Academic Depository, through which certificates and mark sheets will be distributed in future. Then we have SIAM and SIAM Prabha. We have Project Imprint and Project ARIA to support teachers for doing different kind of projects related to e-learning. Then we have NIRF ranking and Know Your Colleges. So all 7 programs taken by Ministry of PhD to support e-learning. SIAM and SIAM Prabha, you all know, I am not going into details. But here what I am trying to show you that if that e-learning is actually coming up as a solution to address all the ailing factors of higher education of India, then today or tomorrow you will need to jump over the e-learning situation in a structured way. As I said, most of the teachers took up the challenges and they come up with innovative solution overnight. But please remember that if you are doing some kind of e-learnings in India, you need to follow a model. You are putting all of your labor in different kind of resources like Google Classroom, like online classes through Zoom, Jitsi, etc. But you are not following a structured way. If you are not following a structured way, in that case, what will happen? All the labors you are giving to develop different kind of e-learning activities, that will not be taken into consideration, because Ministry of PhD clearly stated that you need to follow a 4-quadrant model, and already Salam I mentioned this particular model. Now, what is a 4-quadrant model of e-learning? It's a very simple one. As a teacher, the teachers gathered here, I request all of you to just imagine, just imagine your curricula or syllabus of any one of the semester, first semester, second semester, and so on. So here you see, if you go through the curricula or the syllabus, you will identify the entire syllabus includes now number of courses. Previously we called them papers. Now because of the CBCS system, the nomenclature changed. We call them now courses. So these particular courses are actually includes different kind of units. Suppose you are taking a particular course with a course number, then it includes number of units. If it is a half paper or 2 credit paper, it has got 3-4 units. If it's a full paper or 4 credit paper, it has got 5 or 6 units. So within the unit, if you go, you will find lot many topics. So 4-quadrant model is actually targeting the topics under the unit. You need to identify a topic you are teaching particularly under a unit. Now each of these topics must be supported by 4 parameters. Parameter 1 is a video tutorial or e-tutorial. You can prepare a 27 to 30 minutes of video for each topic. And if your video is higher length, you please reduce or you please divide the entire video into part 1, part 2, part 3, and so on. So Ministry is saying that your video should not cross the limit of 30 minutes, because nowadays nobody can give due proper concentration if it is not more than 30 minutes of duration. So divide your e-tutorial logically in different group. If it is going beyond 30 minutes, then when your quadrant 1 is over, come to quadrant 2. What is the content of quadrant 2? The lecture notes you are using, the lecture notes you are sharing with your student, plus please try to convert them into the soft copy. 8 to 10 pages of summary text, a PowerPoint slides related to the topic you are covering. So this actually belonging to the quadrant 2, e-text quadrant. Then quadrant 3 is the further reading list. Here your librarian friend can help you enormously, because they know the availability of different kind of resources. They are trained how to check the quality of the resources, how to check the authenticity of the resources. So leave them that particular job to the library professionals. And Ministry of HRD categorically said that for further reading list, when you are preparing the list of readings, then you use open access resources as far as feasible. For example, you are giving a list of 10 related books. Now 8 out of 10 is actually available commercially, hugely costly, so students cannot procure. So giving that kind of list is actually equal to not giving any kind of list. So if you are providing a 10 number of documents as a reference list, try to have only 5 and 6 documents, quality documents in such a way that all are available through different kind of open access channel, green path, gold path, bronze path. Your librarian friends already knows this. So try to take their help and try to use a reference management software to prepare the list. They again are champion of using different kind of reference management tool. You can take a help from them. Now comes the quadrant 4. In the quadrant 4, you need to prepare different kind of evaluation, after the, because all these 4 quadrants are targeting the 3 fundamental facets of e-learning: teaching, learning, and evaluation. So evaluation part, any LCMS you can use, and MCQ based question, short answer type question, video comprehension, audio comprehension, all are actually you can do. And Moodle, what I am going to show you, and why Moodle I will be coming, that Moodle is actually supporting now 36 types of MCQ. In case of late set examination, we are habituated to see only 5 to 6 types of MCQ. Now there are 36 types of MCQ supported by LCMS. You can give a related video and ask question from that video. You can give an audio speech and can ask question from that audio speech. You can have VPL, virtual programming lab. You can have VRL, virtual remote lab, to teach different practical courses related to science. So nowadays these LCMS are quite mature. But I'll be soon. I'll again try to show you this particular concept in live mode. But before that, again a point of caution is that everything is e-learning, and we people are using e-learning as an umbrella term. So if I am using a PowerPoint slide in my smart classroom, that is considered as an e-learning. Any kind of ICT enabled teaching, learning, evaluation is considered as an e-learning. It's a very dangerous thing. Everything is not e-learning. E-learning must support interactivity. If there is no interactivity, it is not e-learning. So on the basis of this single parameter, there are 3 kinds of concepts in the domain. One is called digital learning environment, and be very careful to distinct this related terms. One is called digital learning environment, or DLE, entered in the domain of e-learning right from 2001, when we can distribute our structured coursework over the network in an interactive manner. So that is called digital learning environment. During the latter half of the first decade of the 21st century, that is 2008-9 onwards, another new concept entered, that is called VLE, virtual learning environment. Now what is a VLE? VLE is actually DLE plus communication. That communication part is supported by different kind of synchronous and asynchronous mode of communication. Now what is a synchronous mode of communication? When you are actually attached with the source in real time. Say for example, this kind of web conferencing, video conferencing, internet relay chat, you are connected in real time. And what is asynchronous mode of communication? That means you are connected but not in real time. Just imagine your email system. You read the email of your friend, then answer. So it's basically a half duplex process. Then another example is blog posting. In this way, asynchronous mode and synchronous mode of communication, when attached with digital learning environment, to support teacher to teacher, teacher to learner, and learner to learner communication, then we call it is a VLE, virtual learning environment. Now the 2015-16 onwards, another new concept is coming in a big way that I am trying to show you in live mode if possible, if network supports. That is called managed learning environment, or MLE. Now what is an MLE? MLE is basically when VLE is attached to it different kind of institutional subsystems, like your library system, like your finance system, like your admission system, your examination system, when all integrated with e-learning in a seamless, coherent manner, that is called managed learning environment. Student will have SSO, single signed-on, for every access, every resource, including library. Say for example, a library is providing user login and ID and password. So that login and ID they can use in case of entering e-learning. And if I'm providing them a login part for their e-learning subsystem, they can utilize that particular to enter inside the library system. So it will be vice versa. So that kind of SSO is a very important thing nowadays. And that managed learning environment, digital virtual learning environment and digital learning environment are the key concepts in the domain. But other two concepts are very important. One is called MOOCs. You already know, massive open online courses. Now MOOCs is a kind of VLE, but the purpose is different. When you are talking about virtual learning environment, you are talking about the initiative of a single institution or a cluster of institutions. Say for example, Bhairab Ganguly College can cluster other nearby colleges and prepare an e-learning platform. So that kind of group of institution or a single institution can start a VLE. But MOOCs is a nationwide platform where any number of courses, any number of learners and any number of teachers can be accommodated. So it requires huge investment, because you see SWAYAM is actually built on the top of Open edX, and it is developed not by any Indian companies, it is actually developed by Microsoft. So huge infrastructure, huge investment is required for MOOCs. It is unlikely the university or a college will be starting a MOOCs platform. That is not going to happen, because MOOCs is the purpose is quite different. So MOOCs you can consider as a massive virtual learning environment where any number of courses, any number of learners, any number of teachers can be accommodated. Another concept, important concept, is blended learning, and I personally believe in the coming 3-4 years, India will be passing through the phase of blended learning. What is blended learning? It is the judicious mixture of the traditional brick and mortar classroom based teaching along with the any form of e-learning, digital learning, virtual learning or managed learning or MOOCs. So suppose for example the recent regulation came from UGC that a PG student can complete 50% of the credit. Suppose a particular MLIC course you see 64 credit courses, so 32 credit course they can complete over network in SWAYAM platform, and 32 course they can complete in a traditional university. So this kind of revolutionary regulation is coming up in PG level. So in future it will be 80-20, then it will be 100%. So that kind of regulation is bound to come to UG level also, where they will be starting with the 20%, 30%, then they will move up to 100%. So this is called a blended learning. A student, a learner is free to take up courses either from the traditional scenario or from the SWAYAM platform or any other platform recognized by the government of India, Ministry of HR. So this kind of concepts are going on. So very important concept is that we are presently running through the virtual learning and targeting the managed learning. Now comes the what are the tools and services we are going to use. Now in the entire e-learning scenario, you can see the tools can be categorized into two groups. One is the LCMS, Learning Content Management System, the platform, the package you are utilizing to provide your or offering your e-learning courses. Then there are other kind of tools which you require to develop courses in each and every quadrant. For example, quadrant 1, e-tutorial, how you can prepare a video tutorial. Now video tutorial can be developed either through screen capturing or by screen capturing and camera capturing. So software, everything what I am suggesting you here available as open source software. You can right from now you can download, you can start working. If you are working in a Windows environment, the best screen sharing software, what is a screen sharing software can do? Suppose I am running a PowerPoint slide presentation in my screen, and it can capture the screen the way I am presenting the slides alongside voiceover. So that kind of system cannot capture your webcam. So it can capture only screen and the voice. So this is called screen capture software. In case of Windows, we are having Cam Studio, very good software, freely available. It's a freeware. If you are using Linux, I am personally using Ubuntu, and I am using a very good screen capturing software, open source software called Kazam. I don't know whether the equivalent Kazam is already also available in Windows platform or not. That you can check it up. But for Windows, we are utilizing all over the India the Cam Studio. If you go to search Google by Cam Studio, you can download.
So we have facing some network issues again. Sir is there with us.
What I was saying that during the very many quadrants, the 4 quadrants you need to deal with, that also requires different kind of software. In the quadrant one, you need to have video tutorial software like Cam Studio and Kazam as a screen capture software. And if you also want to capture your screen, your voice, and your webcam, then you can utilize OBS, Open Broadcasting Studio. Open Broadcasting Studio is available in both the platforms, Windows and Linux, and that can be utilized, or you can play it with it. It's a you can prepare different kind of professional videos by utilizing you can utilize different kind of you can develop different kind of professional quality videos by utilizing OBS. And for preparing the quadrant 2, you already know different kind of slide preparation tools are there, how to convert slides into PDF format, how to prepare e-text in PDF format, because PDF format is the best format to provide the documents over the e-learning. Then quadrant 3, that's tools you require to know. It's called reference management software. You can utilize Zotero. Zotero is a very powerful reference management software, open source, freely available for both Windows and
So we are again sorry to say that we have still the network issues with our PSM sir. So he's currently now highlighting us what would be the tools very much related with the 4 quadrant approach.
so as I said that these tools are required for you, and Zotero can be utilized by you to develop different kind of reference list by following the citation standards like APA, NLA, Chicago, etc. So now this is the theoretical backup. I am extremely sorry I could not provide you the PowerPoint. I am sharing the slides with Salam so that we can distribute it amongst you.
Yes,
and
sir. You just share me the PPT, sir.
Okay. I will share.
You send it to my mail. I will share you on your behalf.
Okay. So now you see, let me try to have a live demonstration. I simply don't know whether I can do it, because this kind of network problem I have never seen during the last 3-4 months I'm doing webinar. We know that streamer requires a bit higher level of bandwidth, but this much of disturbance I have never faced. Anyway, let me try to share my screen so that I can show you the exactly what I said that is possible. And regarding the LCMS part, there are many candidate software in open source domain, because as you know, I'm not in favor of the commercial software, and that's why I'm saying that there are many open source software and mature open source software. There are 8 developed or supported by UNESCO, all are LAMP based and run Windows and Linux both. There is Moodle, modular object oriented dynamic learning environment. Moodle is an open source software. Anyone can download, can install. It is rich with many plugins, and it has got the highest user base in the world. Please remember, no commercial e-learning software is at all comparable with the open source freely available LCMS like Moodle. Moodle has the highest user base in the world, and lot many advanced level institutes all over the world. In fact, last week, IIT Kharagpur decided to switch over to Moodle platform for their next semester e-learning courses. So you see the something is available free, that is not good. That kind of mentality must be avoided. Moodle is free and the best. But the question is that if your e-learning system is not available over the web, then there is no point of having an e-learning system. My e-learning is available only in LAN. That does not mean anything, because nowadays in this pandemic situation, how your student can access your campus-wide LAN? So your e-learning system must be available over the network. Now there comes the two problem. One is that the problem that how to get the cloud hosting system. There are again two options. You can pay a little and you can have a professional cloud services, and there you can install Moodle and you can run yourself. I do not prefer that option. I am now going to show you an option what we are using right from the pandemic situation in the University of Kolkata is basically a free of cost e-learning solution where my software is freely available as Moodle, the latest version of Moodle 3.9.1, as well as the cloud hosting is also available free of cost. 500 registered user I can accommodate. 50 concurrent user at any given point of time, more than sufficient for my department. 10 GB of spaces. In fact, nowadays, as different kind of video streaming server are there, YouTube, Vimeo, etc. So you don't have to upload your video, and my advice is that don't upload your videos over the in your LCMS server. You always upload your video in YouTube or Vimeo. You can open up a channel, and then you can embed that video inside your system. So there, in that way, you requires only a few GB space. 1 GB is sufficient for the entire coursework for our courses. But the free sources service what I am going to share with you is actually giving me 10 GB of space, 500 registered user, 50 concurrent user, and completely free of cost. So the problem is that there are two problems. One problem is that they are living on the top of advertisement. So some of the advertisement will be popping up, and I don't mind those advertisements because those advertisements are all related to education only. Even NIT Rourkela, IISc Bangalore, so all kind of advertisements are coming. I'm happy to share with my students. So that is one problem you may consider. Second problem is that you cannot install any plugin except the plugins given by them. So that is another limitation, but take it from me, I am running this service for the last 5-6 years, and the plugin systems they have given more than sufficient to run a course. So let me now try the last try to share my screen. Otherwise we will be switching over to question answer session. So hope for the best. Salam, report me. Visible?
Yes, sir, it is visible now.
Okay, let's hope for the best. So here you see, this is our e-learning system. And this this is the service we are following, genomeo.com. If you go to this particular site, genomeo.com, you can open up your consider your e-learning course. They will ask you only the domain name of your virtual name server. My virtual name server I have given, my email is given. So your hosting is free, your security they will manage, your 24/7 mode power they will manage, everything is free. So it's anyone can start this particular course with a little bit of training in Moodle. Now here you see, again in this particular scene, you see this is called OH2 based authentication. Moodle is now supporting REST based authentication as well as Koha. Koha latest version 20.
Okay, with the sharing of screen, I think we have more technical issues with sir. So please be patient and with us. I think sir will come and join with us again to continue the session. So rightly, he's doing very informative session to us. Connection problem is there, and what he's saying about the implementation of the LMS, what he has implemented in University of Colony for their managing e-resources with the help of Moodle. Definitely, Moodle is very popular LMS.
So you see here, this is my site home, and we actually prepare a hierarchical level structure. You can see lot many advertisement is coming up like computer system, other things. So we allow them because they are living on the top of advertisement. And that is the only condition you have to allow them. Now here you see this is the hierarchical structure of my all the courses, all 4 semesters, semester 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now if I take the semester final semester courses, you will be having an idea about the 4 quadrant planning system. Everything including cloud hosting is free. You just take a little bit of, you will be having an idea today, then you just take up any Moodle video tutorial, etc. how to create courses. A very simple thing. You just need to consider 2 things. One is the resources, another is the activity. Resource can take up any format, forms and format. So suppose this is the course of the all the courses of semester 4. Let us take any of these particular courses. Say this one, library service platform. So objectives and these things are given there. Now the moment my students enter using these courses, it starts with the generic modules. So this module
Again, we are facing some problem with network issues. Whenever sir is sharing his screen, we are facing the same problem. So really, Moodle is a very important, popular applications in comparison to the other learning management system, as because others is there.
okay. So this is the generic section. As I said, I can go for different kind of announcement.
Again, we are having same problem. So please put your questions. If you want to ask sir, put your questions in the YouTube chat box so that we'll be able to keep it to sir on your behalf. What you have learned, or what you have heard from sir's presentation. On the basis of that, you just put or keep your questions in YouTube chat box. Sir, your screen is showing blank. Your your screen is showing blank. Please share again, sir. It is visible, sir, now.
Okay. So as I said, our target is a particular topic. Say for example, ILS transition is a topic, social and technical factors, ILS transition. Now, if we come back to this particular topic, another important factor, let me tell you, that it is not mandatory that you need to follow quadrant 1, quadrant 2, quadrant 3, quadrant 4 sequence. What I personally follow is the quadrant 3 first. That means I give them reading list first, the essential reading list. Then I go for the quadrant 2, that is the e-text part. Then I go to the quadrant 1, video tutorial, and then quadrant 4 will always be the last component of the 4 quadrant model. Now they can click here to have all kind of open access resources related to this particular topic. If they click here, they will be having a e-text or summary text related to this one. So even in the summary text also, it's a 8 pages summary text. I also try to provide lot many further reading list, reading list, mostly from the open access domain. Now when their e-text part is over, they can again go back to have a slide presentation on the topic, say presentation on ILS transition. So they can go for different kind of presentation. They can download. That's why I'm saying your PPT can be converted into PDF format, because all LCMS is much more comfortable with PDF format, and PDF format is platform independent, and you can have the same effect like your PPT here. So they can download also. After this is over, they can go back. Now comes the most crucial part of the e-learning system, that is the video tutorial on the topic. Now as I said, I prepared the video tutorial by using OBS software, but I never upload them inside my Moodle server. I always upload them YouTube or Vimeo. Vimeo is slightly academic. YouTube is good for is possibly the best one for video streaming. Vimeo is not up to that mark, but Vimeo is academic in nature. Now anyone you can utilize to open up your channel. Now here you see, when my learners click this video tutorial on ILS transition, what happens? They do not need to go to the YouTube. You see here, this video is coming from YouTube, but it will be embedded here. This is called embedding, and embedding is very easy for a teacher. You go to YouTube, you share that particular video. It will be asking you, do you want to have the embedding code? You just copy that snippet, code snippet, and paste in your Moodle things. So that kind of video snippet you can do. My student can go for the full text mode, they can go forward, they can come backward, and many things. To integrate those particular object into our library automation system seamlessly. Now let us have a close look of what do you mean by so my point is that video you can prepare in this way. That video is a homemade video. Then you can add different kind of prefix and suffix kind of thing. End screen we call it. Slowly you will be learning. Don't worry. And then you upload the video, open up your channel, and embed it from there. Now when your all 4 quadrant is over, then my students we planned in such a way that they need to appear after every unit. They need to go for the quadrant 4. So quadrant 4 we are following assignment. So suppose in case of unit 1, this is the unit 1 as I said. These are the topics. After covering all topics, they need to appear, submit 3 assignment, assignment 1, 2 and 3, and they need to appear in the MCQ test. So after this MCQ and assignment is over, I can publish the grade book for unit 1. So my university, as per the rule of Kolkata University, we prepare the grade point calculation formula, weightage formula. So once we formulate, and rest of the times the system calculates it automatically. So you see my student can have it, the final grade for unit 1. Let me zoom it up. So here you see the system automatically allocate marks from assignment 1, 2, 3, MCQ 1 and 2, total unit total out of 50 percentage alongside the letter grade as per KU norms. So this kind of unit level grade point we can have. Now after the all 3 units, it's a 2 credit course, soft core course. After all these 2 units are covered, then I can publish the grade book for the entire course. That is the grade book for this particular course, and by following this weightage formula. So by after clicking that, they can have the entire grade book, and this particular grade book is downloadable either in PDF format or in CSV format, and I can readily send it to my controller of examination so that they can go for the next level of processing. So this is the entire grade point according to the alphabetical order of students' name. So this way we are running these courses almost free of cost, without any support from the university, and the team DLIS KU, including our research scholar, my colleagues, my HOD, all are supporting, all are taking part in this situation. And you see, it's almost a professional quality course nowadays we are having, and because everything is free. Now comes the question is that as many library professionals are there, and I said that role of libraries are also changing, in this pandemic situation, in this e-learning workflow. Let me try to have another live mode so that I can show you. Now, as I said that in e-learning system, a library needs to follow push model in place of the pull model. Nowadays, what is happening in traditional learning system? As a teacher, I take up the class, I refer a few documents, then my students go to the library and pick up the documents if available. Now, this is called pull model. Library is pulling in students towards it. Now, in e-learning platform, that is not possible. In a pandemic situation, that is not possible. So, what we need to follow a push model of in place of the pull model. What do I mean by push model? That means library is pushing itself with all of its resources, subscribe resources, open access resources, then local resources like OPAC and IDEA, etc., and pushing everything in the e-learning workflow. Let me give you one particular example. Before, one particular example is can replace 1,000 words. So this is a particular course, second semester course, and you can integrate that as per the course basis. That means you can introduce your library at the global level, that is the global parameter. For every courses it will be available, but again you can customize that what will be available for which courses. So for example, in case of a second semester course, we have customized. My student this is a course on resource description and content designation, mainly related to the metadata encoding, CCF, Mark 21, Mark 21 authority format, etc. Now these are, you can see the same way 4-quadrant mode of learning, but what new things you can see here, you consider the right hand side of this particular screen. Right from here, my student can search my library catalog. They don't have to go to library catalog separately. Library will come to them. Then the discovery system we are having on the top of viewfind. Then lot many open access resources. Let me show you first the library part. So suppose I want to search a book. Okay, so a book on God. Although it has no relation with the catalog, let me show you that book on God, or rather a book written by Gandhi. So I am searching right from here. You see, my student is not going outside of this learning interface. This is called the push model, and we have integrated our local Koha inside module. That integration is called LTI, Learning Tools Interoperability. Different systems can be fused together to have a coordinated effort. Now the interesting thing is that what I am going to show you that requires a little bit extra space, that my system detected, or my student searched by author Gandhi as author. So these are the books available, and here you see it can readily identify this book is available in full text as open access resources from a particular portal called Gandhi Heritage Portal. It's a famous, Gandhian Study Institute. Now now you see the worldwide famous document book written by Mahatma Gandhi, My Experiment with Truth. If my student click the My Experiments with Truth here, like an opaque, the details of the book will be coming. Say for example, how many copies are there, which copy is available, everything. But here you can see, if a particular book is available in open access domain, my learner can click it here, and they can have the opaque or the book itself right from here. So inside the opaque, they are now having the book. You see here, details and the book itself. Just like Kindle, my student can read it. Even it can be read it loud. That means it can be integrated with the sound system. It can be, it's a flip book. I can browse by page wise. I can go to any page, right? Font cover, copyright page, table of content page. Suppose I want to see the table of content page. Click it here. The table of content page will be coming automatically from the Gandhi Heritage Portal. I can bookmark a particular page. I can print a particular page. I can search the entire book. I can zoom in. I can zoom out. I can browse and so on. So this is this particular book is a historical one because it includes handwritten notes of Mahatma Gandhi available from the personal collection of Mahatma Gandhi. So this kind of systems are coming where you can integrate your entire library system inside the e-learning, and inside your library system you can integrate lot many open access resources. So that's all from my side. But other things, let me show you that many other open access resources we can integrate. Say for example, base. I want to support, it's an course on cataloging. Say my students want to search how many documents are there in open access channel with FRBR in the title. So it can go to the global system developed again by a group of librarians. It got 214 millions of resources. It can search all the resources where FRBR appears in the title, and here you see. And right from here, if you see this particular symbol developed by UNESCO to indicate the document is an open access. Now my student can click it here, can download the entire book, and it says 645 number of documents available. Now you imagine this kind of quality resources available from different distributed open access channels are integrated inside base. Base is called Bielefeld Academic Search Engine, developed by a group of librarians in University of Bielefeld, Germany, and that we can integrate inside our e-learning system. So as a library professional, our duty is to follow the push model of library services, and we need to identify, we need to discover, then we need to integrate every resources logically, hierarchically inside our e-learning system. So similarly, the one of the largest resource base in India is the NDLI. So we have also tried to integrate NDLI search here. Say for example, I want to search all books available or written by Ranganathan and available in uh, inside NDLI, National Digital Library of India, hosted by IIT Kharagpur. So this is the Ranganathan as an author. I am searching NDLI. In the same fashion, it is connecting NDLI and retrieving all resources actually available Ranganathan as an author. So Ranganathan from different domain it actually retrieved. So we can again pinpoint the search as Ranganathan SR or something like that. So this way it actually works, and NDLI also provide lot many open access resources. So that's all from my end, Salam. You can now proceed for question answer session. It suddenly become very good at the end of the presentation. Now,
Definitely,
this
definitely. Just I want to share that information, sir. You told me. So, thank you very much, sir, for your nice and informative session. We always learn from you. Always learn from you whenever you deliver the speech, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Again, now we will have the question answer session. So I already asked the participant to place his questions in the YouTube chat box. We will place the questions on your behalf to our beloved sir. And we have also Dr.
Shekhar Modok.
Biplab Chakraborty sir, who is the director of this webinar also and chairman Info-Lib Academia. And I would like to over to Dr. Biplab Chakraborty sir to continue the question answer session. Sir, please carry on.
From Shekhar Modok. From Shekhar Modok, one question is Zotero or Mendeley, which is better for reference management? And another question, hello Patro. Another question from Shekhar Modok, that does Moodle provide technical support for creating and managing the course?
Thank you, sir, for coordinating this particular session. And as Shekhar Modok asked that which one is better, Zotero or Mendeley? Both work in the same way, but I support Zotero. Why Because Mendeley is a freeware, not open source, and Zotero is a completely open source. We can integrate different kind of further tools and services inside Zotero. Recently, if you follow my Facebook post, I posted that Zotero now can be integrated with the retracts and watch database, so that suppose wrongly I have included some kind of references, and that is actually that particular paper retracted for some different academic reasons. So Zotero can now inform me in real time that this paper particularly has been retracted. So that kind of provision is not in Mendeley. Otherwise, they work in the same fashion. I personally favor Zotero. And the second part of the question, the Moodle provides technical support or not. There is actually, if you are going for this kind of cloud hosting system, what I have shown, Xenomio, so you simply do not need any kind of technical support. They are actually supporting you at the behind the screen. What you need to take care only the content level architecture. The only condition is that your coursework must have some kind of content, and you must have users. If you are not having users, you are not having content, they will be deleting your course within 3 weeks. Otherwise, they will allow you to continue for indefinite period of times, and it is completely free from any kind of technological support. You are free from that kind of jobs.
Next question from David Ogochu. David Ogoche, how can you blend DLE, VLE and MLE together? Is it achievable?
Very good question, actually. I really liked it. You see here, there are different phases. If you see, look upon the human society as a whole, we have progressed from agricultural society to industrial society to information society or knowledge society. Does it mean that we have completely abandoned agricultural equipments and entered into knowledge society? No. You are having in your kitchen, you are having in Bengali kitchens, you are having Mexican grinder as well as silnora. So silnora we are carrying from the Paleolithic age. So we are always carrying legacy from one age to another age. So what did I mean by this DLE, VLE and MLE? These are the respective growth and development over the years. DLE is basically VLE is basically DLE with asynchronous and synchronous mode of communication. MLE is basically VLE with institutional subsystem integration. So this is a kind of evolution of e-learning system, and it is not required to be blended together. That means when you are having MLE, you are already having VLE at the back end, and VLE is having DLE at the back end. Okay.
Next question from David Ogocheparto. Apart from Moodle, which other free learning management system is recommended?
Okay. So apart from Moodle is the best so far I have experienced. But other very close close open source candidate may be the A-Tutor. A-Tutor is now supported by UNESCO, and A-Tutor is also based on the a LAMP architecture, just like Moodle, Linux, Apache, MySQL or MariaDB and PHP. But one of the beauty of A-Tutor is that in A-Tutor, you can convert your entire course curricula readily into ebook. That facility is yet not available in Moodle, but that we are utilizing a lot in case of A-Tutorial. Suppose I am uploading sequentially all my classroom lectures, class note, etc. At the end of the course, I can convert them in a multimedia book by utilizing A-Tutor. Otherwise, rest of the things are almost same. They follow the same, that particular model is called social constructivist theory of digital learning. So Moodle and A-Tutor both are based on social constructivist theory of e-learning, and A-Tutor is also a very good candidate.
Next question from Mrinmoy De. How vocational education can be possible through e-learning in future, and which software is available for vocational education?
Okay, software will not vary from education or course to course. Software is the same, the model is the same, 4-quadrant learning. In vocational cases, you need lot many practical courses, lot many practical on how to do type instructional materials. So those materials are already available in the open access domain as open educational resources under Creative Commons licensing, that you can link up with your e-learning system under legally, because Creative Commons license allows you to support that kind of integration. So be it vocational, be it regular, it does not matter, the model will change. You try to follow the 4-quadrant model, try to use the how to do type instructional material, video, lot many things are available, ebooks, and that you can integrate it safely. If it is just check the licensing, Creative Commons licensing, and you can integrate inside your system.
Next and last question from NG Srinivas, that in which way libraries opening and service to users can be solved?
Presently, you cannot go for the physical opening of libraries. So the possibly in the last part of my demonstration, you have seen how we are integrating libraries inside the system. There is a famous proverb in India, if Muhammad is not going to Parbat, then Parbat needs to come to Muhammad. So we are following that kind of model. We are actually Parbat and going to Muhammad. Muhammad is our users. So that kind of integration is quite possible. That technology is called LTI, and we are actually using two open source software for interacting with each other. One is the Moodle that supports LTI, and the latest version of Koha supports REST API. Same credential we can utilize to switch over the that is called single signed on. Any user of Koha can enter Moodle. Any user of Moodle can enter Koha with the same credentials, and you can have this kind of Koha can slight rectification or modification is required. It can automatically snatch which particular book is available on the basis of title, ISBN matching rule from the open access domain. That it can be integrated automatically, and my user can read the book, can download the book automatically. And 80% of the textbooks are already available in some open access channels, and librarians need to discover that, need to integrate that.
This is not the basically questions to Partho Mukhopadhyay, but there are some questions also that Abhijit Rai and Pawan Kumar asked for PPT either from Professor Partho Mukhopadhyay or from webinar. So this may be the question, and another question from R. Sengupta in this line.
Okay, I'll be within 10 minutes. I'll be sharing my slides with Salam. So Salam will distribute to all of you.
Okay. Then after complete and wonderful discussions by or deliberations by Professor Partho Mukhopadhyay. Though in the mid time, some network connection problem is there, but ultimately the শেষ ভালো যার সব ভালো, so all well that and so well. So Partho Mukhopadhyay has completed his discussions or deliberations very nicely. These are very informative, thought-provoking, mind-blowing, and excellent in two sense from virtual learning in open way. So kudos to the teachers thinking. That means the challenges ahead to the teachers from traditional minded teachers to e-learn based teachers. So there is a number of areas that he has mentioned, from voice modulation, pronunciation, grammar knowledge to the scenario of higher education institutions in India from the point of demography, geography, rural area, gross enrollment ratio, teacher student ratio, and others areas he has mentioned. So I am not covering all the issues, but ultimately the e-learning platform from different government initiative and which is going on, he has discussed in detail. Sometimes the voice break or the video break is a disturbance. Still I think that participants will be able to get the beautiful knowledge from Partho's lecture, and from the transition from DLE digital library environment to and then communication based digital library environment to virtual learning environment, and then managed library environment, and then massive online learning environment, and lastly he has mentioned about the blended learning system that is very much helpful to all the learning institutes which can be taken. Which can be taken easily, and I think ultimately on the basis of the quadrant approach for types, he has mentioned a number of areas that means the practices which can be going on, or which those are very important. And in the mid time, the Abul Salam's lecture is also helpful to the participants for in the mid time when the voice or audio is broken, and at the end nicely demonstration is given by he has demonstrated about the e-learning practices on the basis of the module in the Department of Library Information Science, Kolkata University, very nicely, and there is no voice break, no, there is no audio break at the time. So I think the applications of the module as learning management system for the implementation of the e-learning areas in the higher educational institutions can be understood by all the participants, and I personally I have become more informative. I am more informed about the lectures and deliberations such provided by Professor Partha Sarthi Mukhopadhyay. Very nice presentation. Thank you. So thank you to him. I am now and the questions also raised by the participants also very relevant. I think time is constant, so that number of questions can be there can be asked by the participants, but still a number of questions and the exact answers provided by Professor Partha Sarthi Mukhopadhyay, I think that will be beneficial to the participants. So I convey my thanks to participants also who raised the question. So, now my lecture is complete. My part is over. I don't want to waste the time much. I am sorry. So I am now handing over my microphone to the conveners of the organizing committee. Please.
Okay, thank you very much, sir, for your collaborative and cooperative question answer session. Really, definitely, sir, you are saying the right thing. Whenever PSMs are with us, we are feeling very confident over in any type of LMS part or in any NCT part. Applications are very much related with the academic and other institutions. How it will be communicated with the local area network, or how it will be communicated with the cloud-based service network. Sir also all things highlighted here, particularly in case of implementation of learning management systems. In a lot of questions, plenty of questions are there carrying here in the YouTube chat box, I can feel. So as far as time concerned, so we are not able to take more questions. And sir asked to share his, sir tell me to share his, he will share the PPTs to us, and we will be, the PPT will be kept in the moocs.bgclibrary.in, which from which you will be able to download your certificates. So please visit the moocs.bgclibrary.in. Here it is showing on the screen, and to download your certificates and the PPTs whichever Sal will deliver to us. He really provide some very good information, particularly considering the four quadrant approach of MOOCs, UGC MOOCs. What would be the tools related with each of the quadrant, and how the tools will be used in creating the lectures and creating the e-content organization and management part, and how it will be evaluation part will be done with the help of the LMS. So really we are very much grateful and thankful to Sir, our Dean of PSM sir. And now we are at the end, and the time is going for vote of thanks. We have with us Dr. Aurobindo Maiti, who is the Vice Chairman of this Info-Lib Academia and Professor, Department of Library and Information Science, University of Calcutta. He will deliver the vote of thanks now. So please, Dr. Maiti, you carry on.
Okay. Very good afternoon to everybody. We are at the end of the session, and it's the turn for providing the vote of thanks. On behalf of the Info-Lib Academia and Bhairab Ganguly College, and on my personal behalf, I convey my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Biplab Chakraborty, Professor, Department of Library and Information Science, University of Calcutta, and the webinar director for being present within his busy schedule and smoothly conducting the webinar and providing his valuable speech, which really enriched us a lot. I convey my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Sanjit Kumar Das, the Honorable Vice Principals of Bhairab Ganguly College, for continuous inspirations and providing permission to conduct this webinar and also providing his welcome address on today. I convey my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Parthasarathi Mukhopadhyay, Professor, Department of Library and Information Science of University of Kolkata, for accepting our invitations as invited speaker on today's webinar and presented a nice thought-provoking lecture, definitely through which we are all really enriched ourselves and benefited a lot. Initially, he faced a lot of problems regarding internet connectivity, but ultimately he impressed us a lot by his nice live presentations regarding implementations of learning management systems in the University of Kolkata. I convey my heartfelt thanks, you sir, and also providing the justified answers of the participants. And I think all the participants are really benefited for his valuable lectures. I convey my heartfelt thanks to you, sir. I convey my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Abul Salam, librarian, Sibud Dinabund Institutions, and joint convener of this webinar, for providing his valuable speech and also smooth conducting the webinar by providing his technical support. I convey my thanks to Dr. Sri Mintu Haldar, librarian of Bhairab Ganguly College and joint convener of this webinar, for arranging new environment for smooth conducting several webinars continuously during this pandemic situations. I really thankful Mintu for your continuous enthusiasm. I convey my thanks to all the participants, professional colleagues, faculty members of Bhairab Ganguly College and all the other institutions, research scholars and students who continuously watching this webinar, without whom the webinar can never be a grand success. Again, I want to convey my thanks to all of you. Thank you all. Now I hand it over the session to Mintu.
One important announcement is that one thing, sir, PSMs are many participants asking for the site's address, which you have already implemented in Kolkata University for your course. So if you can share with us the URL, we can provide the participant to this URL.
Given in the chat box. I have given the address in the chat box.
Yes, this is, we have got it, and now I am displaying this on the screen. The address is here on the screen. That is myblisku.gnomio.com. It is scrolling on the screen. So participants are requested to note down the address. If you want to visit the site and know furthermore, please note down this and visit the site for more information. And with this, one announcement is there. We have our next webinar will be held on 1st September 2020 at 3 p.m. and topics is virtual library services during COVID-19. Challenges and ways, organized by the Info-Lib Academia in collaboration with Sarsuna College, Bhairab. So I would like to request all the participants, please be there with us to observe at the YouTube live session on that particular topics. And another thing is that we also request our patients to be with us in the next more webinar we want to conduct on that particular topic, and particularly in practical approach we need to have very
for my session, please use already Google Meet or WebEx, because I am hibernating in a remote corner and my network poor. I am now basically passing through the bandwidth poverty situation.
Yes, sir. Next time we will try to be with the Google Meet. It will be better for us.
Okay.
So, and with some practical approach, because we all want to
Yeah, Abul, please. In the month of September, we will again organize a seminar, webinar. So Professor
Yes, sir,
Parthasarathi
definitely.
Mukhopadhyay will speak. Okay.
Okay, Mintu, you just say something and conclude the session. Please unmute. Please unmute. Mintu, please unmute.
Unmute.
Okay, okay. Thank you all once again. Thank you, Biplab Chakraborty sir. Thank you, PSM sir. And thank you, Aurobindo Maiti sir. My sincere thanks to go to our esteemed participants who have joined this webinar. Already, Dr. Salam announcement, we have organized another four more webinars. One is virtual library service, COVID-19 challenges and ways, which will be held tomorrow, 1st September 2020. Next, tools and techniques for preserving the library documents in the present situation, which will be held on 3rd September 2020. Number 3, national policy on education, 2020 and digital divide, which will be held on 8th September. And next, connecting the innovation and dissemination of the result on health issues on common people, ways and challenges. This webinar is held on 10th September 2020. We inform the participant that feedback link is already sent to YouTube chat box and your mail, where your registration has been confirmed. You can download the certificate from BGC MOOCs, and instruction on how to download the certificate has been mailed. I requested all participants to register for our next webinar. With the permission of Sir Chair, I conclude the session. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
Yes,
thank you.
yes.
Okay, thank you.